everybody, it's Kenny Bertoli. Welcome back to my channel, all 11 of you. Speaking of which, subscribe. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm coming at you with way too much energy for it being literally, 5:30 in the morning. I'm so sorry. And oh my god, I actually have to get this done because I need to go to sleep. Don't be concerned for me. I'm just night shift. This is actually planned. This is according to schedule, which sounds wacko. But anyways, you're here to listen to me talk about my 6-month weight loss journey reflection. If you're new here or you just stumbled across this video or you don't remember the 3-month reflection that I did back in September, it's fine. It's all good. You don't have to watch it. It's okay. I'm here. I can just get you caught up. It's quick. Back in June, I started to work out and take weight loss pretty seriously. I think before then I had spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks just tracking my calories, but not really eliminating anything. And I hadn't started to work out yet, but in June I had my first consultation session with this gym that I started at. I met my personal trainer who I began to work with, and I worked with him twice a week, every week for probably the first 3 months. And in addition to that, I started to meal prep. I started to track my macros and my calories, specifically protein, and making sure I hit a good protein goal so I could build muscle and do the things that we were doing together in the gym. So the first 3 months went great. When I look back on that footage and all the progress that I made, even visually just in those first 3 months, it's incredible how I looked in September versus how I looked a year ago. I lost 30 pounds. I was doing really, really well. If you have seen a couple of my videos since then, you'll know that I kind of fell off just a little bit, but I had the best of intentions to get back on things. And that really hasn't happened fully. If anything, I want to say my weight in September was 155 and now I'm at 152, which actually amazes me. I don't know how I haven't gained weight. It's weird. I'm trying to think back to where things started to go wrong, and I feel like I've kind of pinpointed it. So around July 20th or 21st, I received some really, really bad news about a situation that was going on in my family. Following this, I had just severe anxiety and a lot of issues concentrating, and just anxiety attacks that I had not experienced since I was in high school. I didn't feel like I would have time to wait for an appointment with my psychiatrist because it was getting to be a very emergent crisis type situation for me, and I knew that I just needed help. And because I had been seeing a psychiatrist for the last I don't even know, 8 years, I had an idea of what I needed and things that I had discontinued that I knew had worked for me in the past, and I knew what I did not want to do, pills that I did not want and did not want to try, and then a specific pill that had worked for me before. And I also needed help going to sleep because I was just not ever sleeping practically. And when I would sleep, it was extremely just broken up, and it would be a few hours here and there type thing, and it was just not okay. And with my job, I work as an emergency dispatcher, and that's extremely stressful. And on top of that, this was in the summertime, which is trauma season, so our call volume is bananas. There's not a second to spare. It's so crazy what we do. And on top of that, because staffing was so terrible, I had to do so many on-calls. I had to do 4 on-calls a month. So this is an average of an extra shift a week. And it's another 12-hour shift. My average should have been 36 to 48. And then it went to 48 to 60 hours a week. And it was just so much to deal with. And at one point, I did end up getting a note from my doctor saying that they could only work me a max of 30 hours a week because I was just having such severe anxiety, and I didn't have time to go talk to anybody, to go find a counselor, to go see my doctor. And everything that was developing in this situation in my family was happening during daylight hours. So I was awake all day, and it's after all that stress and being up all day, there is no way I can go to work and do a 12-hour shift from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. that night. It just was not happening, and it was crazy, and my anxiety was, again, so bad. I would show up to work thinking I was okay, and I would break down, hyperventilating, chest tight, hands shaking, like going numb type feeling for hours. And I just kept having to go home because I was freaking out this much, and I just was not okay. I went to go see my general family doctor, and I told her what was going on. She started me on some type of like sleep medication that was an antihistamine. I tried it, did not faze me whatsoever, did nothing for me. So then she got me on Seroquel, which I've looked up since then, and I understand it's not really supposed to be intended as insomnia treatment. I absolutely did not want to do any antidepressants because I've had adverse reactions to them before. And a lot of sleeping medication are also antidepressants. So it wouldn't make sense for me to do that. So I think that's why we ended up skipping over to Seroquel, which is like an antipsychotic, which I've also had before, and those actually work better for me. So I got on Seroquel. I got back on Abilify, which was the pill that I had taken for years and years prior to help with mood stabilization. And then I also was on like Xanax as needed. I was on a lot of things that were meant to like knock me out, like to calm me the fuck down, because I was, again, just like losing it. Sometimes I would be on whichever ones, and I just felt really, really tired. And because when I initially decided to quit caffeine entirely, it was because I needed help sleeping. Then I had this medication that was helping me in falling asleep and getting the rest that I really desperately needed. I didn't have that big reason, that huge why I had initially quit caffeine, so I decided it was okay to have more caffeine. So I started to get like Starbucks again. I could have just stopped there, but I do really believe that it dominoed a lot of other things in my life, and a lot other habits started to slide because I was like treating myself in this one area. I know that for a lot of people, they could treat themselves to one thing and that wouldn't derail the whole rest of their day or week or month or months. It just doesn't compute how one day I'm allowed, or I allow myself, or I have a treat, and then in the next few days, like, I just can't do that again. It's so hard for me to understand why, even in the 3 months, I did have days where I would go out to eat. I would eat a lot of food, like the Italian restaurant, and then I would be fine the next day. And I don't know where things started changing, and I started to go back to this old way where either I'm on the diet or I'm not. I think that a lot of weight loss advice is centered around doing everything in moderation and just understanding that you don't have to quit everything. I also feel like something that kind of goes in hand with this advice is doing something that's sustainable that you can do for the rest of your life. And to be honest, I don't feel like I would ever lose weight if I had to make sure that what I was doing for my diet was something that I could sustain for the entire rest of my, I don't even know how many, 50 plus years. I think that the truth that I'm coming to realize about myself and my point of view with this is I think that while I'm losing weight, it's okay for me to cut out certain things or to do certain things that I don't see myself doing forever, because I don't intend to be losing weight forever. I will eventually go into maintenance, and I feel like maintenance is one of those things where I can try to build good habits to help myself for when I'm maintaining, but honestly, I feel like I can't worry about maintenance now when I haven't even finished losing the weight. And if worrying about maintenance is my big holdup for getting the rest of the weight off, then I just have to not think about it and not worry about it. So right now, my huge idea, the thing that I want to do the most, is basically go back to how things were in the first 3 months. And I think that a lot of people would look at what I was eating and how I was like repeating a lot of the same meals and like cutting off caffeine entirely. A lot of people, I think, would look at that and think that that's unsustainable and probably restrictive. And like, honestly, I might even agree. But again, like, I'd rather do something that I know is going to work and that I know is going to like help me finish what I said I was going to do and follow through on this promise that I made to myself to do this, than worry about like how I'm gonna maintain it, because that just to me feels like something to worry about later. And I don't like how it's holding me back because I'm so focused on trying to do this like so perfect when I never will. I feel like I can't wait for me to have this like perfect balancing act and like this like amazing way how I can almost always eat healthy and I just treat myself once a week like this precious little like diet angel. I get in this mindset where if I have it one day, I don't understand why I can't keep having it, and then it starts to feel unfair. Or like I get this fear of missing out. I mean, I already know that I have a very unique relationship with food based on how I currently like get so much entertainment and comfort from food, and also things that have happened in the past, which I will definitely talk about on here eventually. It is a video idea. It's just very, very long. I'm more on board with the idea of doing something that is going to help me finish this as opposed to something that I have to feel like I'm committing to for the rest of my life. Like that just is more daunting to me. I'm definitely game to like give this my all, and I don't really anticipate it ever ending. Like I don't know when like the end of this would be, when I'd finally be like satisfied or happy with how I look and how I'm feeling and how much I can lift and how active I am. I don't know what that looks like, to be honest, but all I know is that I'm more interested in doing things that just show progress. I just want to be doing better. And I feel like that's more important to me than like any number on the scale or any like weight that I'm lifting. Like just having the confidence and just knowing that like I'm doing better for myself. That just brings me a lot of peace of mind and a lot more comfort than anything food could give me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you consider coming along for the ride. You can subscribe and do the bell notification if you so please. And also don't forget to like this video if you made it this far. And yeah, I appreciate you.